There's a real chance of raise Def. Defo was not hot on map 1 at all, and we know what Nuki is capable of here.
Because you've seen the almost tempered Nuki on map 1. Now Nuki gets to unleash, right? It's like he plays his role, he does his job. Now you get Nuki just off the chain. So I want to see how he begins. Obviously a good start builds the confidence, boosts the player, but we are seeing this early intent towards the A side, early attention being drawn there from Mech, who are of course on the attacking side if you're just tuning in, and G2 will be on the defending side. And if you did miss map 1, watch it back. It was Icebox and it was damn good. G2 really turned things up to 11. It caught most of us off guard. It was a little uncharacteristic to an extent because they had addressed a lot of the issues we'd seen with them. However, a new map, a new arena to throw down on. And Mech, once again, they always get a little bit more leeway. They have been into the higher echelons of every single extent in Valorant thus far. You have to give them that little bit of credit there. But you can see the bait on long coming out, and I'm waiting to see if this works. So Hoodie's going to get all the attention. Flash is going to be back online. Noted the player. And Avova not being subtle. Actually, they didn't know the player, but they still get to play in at least Avova. 1-for-1 trade out, TP taken. Leia being now Hoodie. Can't do it. Shados there shuts him down, and all exchanges now at least looking favorable for Mech. Now, yeah, Nuki's on the way. We do have 2 players towards CT, but they have no access now as the spike's going down.
Mech find themselves in a favorable scenario here. 4v3 actually now. Red Guard dealing with Nuki's going to make that even better. Meadow and Mixwell have to try and recover something here. Meadow not being given a peek though. Mech now will dig their heels in. Mixwell 1 left in the chamber. See where you can find on the way back out. But that's something that G2 can lean pretty heavily on Garden. They can stack 2 in there and just leave Hooker kind of unoccupied. Pull a link, put a judge in Hooker, switch things up a little bit.
See if that conditioning actually affects it. Obviously, for now, that hasn't even been really noted. It hasn't been really considered yet by, obviously, Mech. They haven't seen that. They haven't encountered it. Just that there was presence on long. So it'll be interesting what they can extrapolate away from that. Going forward, patience. Your bog standard default, super deep, maybe expecting a little bit of trickery coming out from G2 and aggression potentially to be shown, and maybe rightly so, considering we can see the purchase. It's going to be Nuki and Hoodie, the ones that, you know, garner my attention here. And Mech don't normally have sloppy anti-ecos. I think they're generally quite clean on how they approach. They're very methodical. They're very sharp on it. But that's one way to disrupt things early on.
I was going to say that it's the worst opponent to be playing, right? Because G2 have one of the best thrifty record, I think, in EMEA.
Oh, Mixwell's got a real shot on this because he's going to be forced to swing. Oh, I get caught by Nats. Super quick on it. Meadow trying to get a little cheeky. No one there to receive the end of the blade. But there's still players around. Let's see if they can get a little bit nasty with it of overbuilding in. But he was not going to catch Chronicle on this, whose timing actually was quite poor there. Chronicle just looked away at the wrong time, receives a little bit of damage, and you can see them now trying to springboard off this. Nuki's on the way, and Chronicle knows he's in danger. Has to deal with it well, and he does. Succeeds against Nuki, comes back around in time, catches him over. Beautiful play from Chronicle. No threat to be found. These rounds are a little bit more dangerous than normal because you get both sides of the coin, right? You get Mech, who I think have got very good
times where we're just getting Sheriff Diffed versus like full rifle purchases on the side of Mech. Again, it's that age old for G2. No round is unwinnable, right? They come into it, and of this comp is that post-plant control.
Ooh, similar setup. Now, you were discussing this earlier. Now, I wonder if this gets noted, worked out, seen. Hoodie earlier contact this time. So we'll note the players towards long, and I think they're aware that Avova was playing towards that cubby before, and he has been now seen again. So this is a very similar look, and Avova could be in trouble here if he's not able to get away, because there is that double stack in towards Duka. Now that's going to be noted because, you know, the alarm's going to be removed, so the swing comes out. You're going to be seeing now Mixwell sitting towards CT. So they've drawn the player just by removing a couple of pieces of utility. They've drawn players over. Actually, not just Mixwell. You're going to have another coming through as well. Meadow leaning over towards B.
With Nuki getting this deep outside showers and actually back towards short,
yep.
G2 can commit an extra body here.
Absolutely. I guess the only problem really becomes if they lose TP control to an extent. Because the Red Guard, where did you just get that from? Finds Avova out of nowhere. But yeah, Mixwell tames the problem quite quickly. They could access through Hookah, but they know that there's now presence, and they've lost that spot towards long. Hoodie can make this crossfire work. And there's the first contact. There's the swing. Lovely. Really nice push and pull between the two. G2 keeping 4 standing. Can't mind.
Defo sat to out of Hooker there. Just, yeah, a tragedy.
It's a little weird, isn't it? Didn't quite go to plan.
Made into the highlight package as well. So
I have the spike.
it's tough. A lot rides on him, especially to come out yesterday. Like the mental fortitude required to endure that series yesterday, and then come in today with your A game.
Nuki's
It's a tall
walking.
order.
Nuki's going to walk this. I know he's going to walk this. Yeah, he absolutely is. Chronicle's aware of the chance. Okay, information received. Right, they know what I'm up to. Fair enough. I'll sit a little deeper, but I'm going to keep showers full of my problem. You can have short. That's fine. I don't mind that. They're aware of what the little traps have been already from Mixwell. Hyper aware. Haven't been able to clear it this time, though. Still on the cubby. The pre-fire, the spams kind of kept that one safe. But you can see that this is still a fight for the early game almost. They've kept so much space here. This has removed a lot of the potential away from Mech. And Mixwell still going to get some contact, and there's a lurk on the other side. There's the judge. We said that this could be the next level of adaptation. There it is. Avova sitting with the judge, waiting patiently. He's got beat all by himself at this point. You can see almost the rotation coming out from Hoodie there as well, but there's the springboard, there's the go signal, and it goes absolutely nowhere. Mixwell sits in no man's land, does get traded, Shados in it, but Meadow quickly puts his life on the line, puts his body on the line, and Nuki doesn't even see them, just spams in the right place, right time, wall goes up. Peak gets made, Shados notes a bare minimum 1, maybe 2, but he wants to spike one. He at least wants the time on his side as his teammates are gone. His vision now limited and removed. He's just absolutely vulnerable to everything, and G2,
when they're trying to create all this pressure on short, I'm not entirely sure of what they really gain off that, to be honest. With no information, well, I mean, they're almost, this is like round 1 again. Throw something in, let's try and figure out the setup on a round like this.
We said the only person to come through from Defo. I guess there is a little bit of a speed up now with Chronicle, who can kind of speed boost as they go along. So there's a little bit of that. Mick, what are you standing on that? You're just going to stick out there. Okay, fair enough. Eventually gets caught by the pain shell. Res comes in, and Mexi this round is potentially viable.
See something I don't. Look, you're going to find Nats in hookup. Actually, Chronicle and Shados gonna.
Look at the pace on Nuki. Oh, yeah. He's okay. He's going to cut deeper. I thought he was just going to instantly cut towards short, but he takes his time. Fair play.
I mean, they have the molly and the orbital strike here. But Nuki's in it again. He's already addressing the possibility of a lineup or Chronicle playing his ult.
Player standing.
There goes Shados. Let's see what Chronicle can do. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Had to probably get 1 to alleviate the pressure that's going to be put towards him anyway. They were going to at least commit 1 player to remove his position. But again, I'm surprised they invested the res into this, so they saw it as really quite feasible. But maybe fine margins. They thought they could work with that orbital strike.
They're not really feeling any pressure. I mean, the cycling of flashes from Hoodie on Mong is one thing. I mean, 1 turn up early here. Trailblazers are not going to tell them an awful lot, to be honest with you. But at least this time around, that's one tick in the box, right? The trap is dealt with. Now it creates a little bit of pressure in G2 setup.
And you're absolutely on the money, though. They have addressed the early utility, right? They've taken Xiao's control away from Nuki. They've taken all of that utility away from it. And they also cleared Duka. So this is 2 elements of what the early round was really favoring for G2. So I want to see what G2 looked like with that now element removed. Yes, I guess the levying factor is that they do have the ult now sitting towards short, so it could make that A piece a little bit trickier. We're down to a minute, so they've got time to play with, but they're still somewhat holding this A lean with a bit of a default touch to it, because they're still trying to hold a bit of presence towards that B side. Now, again, for Mech, it does feel like this is going to be eventually an A piece. How do you get past that? Oh, how do you deal with the next kind of stage to this?
I'm not sure if that flash actually caught Shados there. There doesn't seem to be any response there, but the TP comes through from Mixwell now. So he's back on A site already. And again, with no pressure towards B, G2 can stack here. And they're happy to try and deny the
flash. Second flash a little deeper. Ult comes in to try and potentially remove Meadow, but he comes on face. And Mixwell just puts the barrel in the belly of Defo. And already that's the first pick going to G2's way. Mixwell, get out of it. Gets his way out of the smoke. 13 seconds. Spike down. They're running out of time. They're running out of options. Nuki that all in hand. Sends it eventually. Doesn't quite find what he wants, but they've stopped the hit. They have nothing to work with here. This has been really without much teeth to this bark that came through from Mech. There was no bite to follow. Chronicle and Nats just have to save the rifles. He's going aggressive early on. So once again, similar scenes. Flash going to confirm that they are there. Seeker's going to come down. They might want to speed up off this? No, dealt with very quickly. Flash again going to come through. Luka presence will be building up one, so there could be a chance they get a little pinned here, but quick rotations coming in. Hoodie can even catch Chronicle on the way out. That's an issue. Now the Seekers come down on the other side. He's going to invest there. Redguard, great trade out, but there are two players on the back lines. Look at these rotations. Not going to be able to double down there either. Over 6 around as well. Field wins the fight, but there's the rotation. It's in place early. Yes, they make it to the site this time, but can they make any more of this? Mixwell gets out of danger for now. It's Defo and Shayla. Despite the hand of Mixwell's presence is resounding. Gorgeous play from the man. Right timing, right place, and Defo now presented a puzzle. He's been given a scenario he's had to try and unravel. But again, look at the positioning from Nuki. There's no safe post plant with this man. There's nowhere comfortable to be, so they'll let him take the plant. You can see the site slowly being moved away from him.
Maybe?
He's got it if he wants it. But already, they've cleared a lot of the site. They've cleared a lot of short.
Yeah.
So process of elimination will eventually give away the game. Now, yes, shot goes off, but it's fine. Comfy work. Meta was unfazed. They were clearing methodically. G2. I'm taking a step back here and ignoring. Let's ignore Mech's achievements for once, right? And it's hard to say that because they are huge. They win benefit of the doubt sometimes. Purely looking at this game, removing the names and achievements attached to them, G2 are bringing a better game in these opening rounds in my mind. This I'm not sure if I love, but he can get out, at least now. There's to be the alchemy in the back. As he finds really nothing. Look how deep they're sitting. This will just be a post-it and hope. At this point, yes, to hold some space. There's the post, and no one's there for it. Spike does go down. Nuki trying to deny that, trying to maybe dissuade that from happening, but the wall's there. Does take most of the damage, and actually, for once, they do get into the post plant.
Well, let's see what they do with it now.
They got what they wanted. Sam is so on the money, though. Shados gets removed. He doesn't even get really a say in this round. But look at the purchase as well. Still a Frenzy, still a Sheriff, still a Spectre, and Bulldog, the best that they've got to work with. So they're certainly outgunned, but also, I guess, outnumbered. But the players, maybe a narrative, Nuki tries to defuse. He only gets halfway, and it's still a fight for this. It's a 2v1. Nats, have you got any of that magic left in the tank? Being closed in already. Chronicle from the grave. Nat.
Look at it. Yeah, the timing on the incendiary is perfect. Literally perfect. It comes to a Vova's just like, well, I gotta try. We gotta try. Nats will close it out.